జయతు జయతు పుడమి తల్లి పూజాలయం జయతు జయతు అన్నదాత సేవాలయం జయతు జయతు పుడమి తల్లి పూజాలయం జయతు జయతు అన్నదాత సేవాలయం పంట సిరుల పరిధి పెంచే పరిశోధనాలయం సాగుబడుల సంస్కృతిని రైతులకందించే బోధనాలయం తిరుగులేని శక్తులుగా మహిళల రూపొందించే గృహ విజ్ఞానాలయం ఒక్కో విద్యార్థిలోన మొక్కబోని దీక్ష నింపి ఆకుపచ్చ సైనికునిగా తీర్చిదిద్దే శిక్షణాలయం బోధన పరిశోధన విస్తరణ బోధన పరిశోధన విస్తరణ ముప్పేటగా అల్లుకున్న అద్భుత విద్యాలయం ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం.
During all these 7 years, the university has reoriented its priorities to suit the state needs. Some of the important achievements during these past 7 years are: the university has established 3 agriculture colleges, 1 food science and technology college, 4 agriculture polytechnics, 2 Krishi Vignan Kendras, and 3 ECRIP schemes, 1 in sunflower, groundnut, and dryland agriculture in different parts of the state. Almost all the buildings are in place with well-developed hostel facilities for boys as well as girls and well-established laboratories with the required equipment. The university has released 47 high-yielding varieties in different crops for commercial cultivation in the state, which helped in increasing production and productivity. We also developed several agro-technologies to reduce the cost of cultivation and increase the crop yields. During this COVID-19 pandemic period, the university has continued its academic, research and extension activities and supplied quality seeds to the farmers throughout the state. Some of the important initiatives of this university include value-added products such as Karta Gold cold press safflower oil, cold press oil of sesame, and production of organic red gram, that is in the brand name of Propulse. In addition to that, we are having several processed products in case of millets. Recently, the university has established Ag Hub, a Section 8 company, which was inaugurated on 30th of last month, majorly to build agri-innovation ecosystem to promote entrepreneurship among the students, farmers, and the rural youth. The Ag Hub is working in collaboration with the scientists of this university on emerging technologies like use of drones, artificial intelligence, and robotics. During the last 7 years, the university has been ranked 12th, 6th, and 10th during 2016, 17, 18, and 19 by Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Though we are having the well-developed infrastructure, but the universities are not being recognized by the buildings or the infrastructure what we are having. And the universities will be recognized by the faculty and the students. Hence, I request all the faculty as well as the students to work hard to improve the visibility and performance of this university, both nationally as well as internationally. So I once again welcome you all for this online 7th Foundation Day program. Thank you. Now I request Dr. R. Jagdishwar, Director of Research, to introduce the guest speaker.
Thank you, sir. It is my profound privilege and honor to read the biodata of Madam Mallika Srinivasan. Mallika Srinivasan was born to A. Sivasalam and also Indira Sivasalam on 19 November 1959 in Alavakurchi at Tirunelveli district, Tamil Nadu. She got degree in mathematics from Women Christian College in Chennai. Then she got gold medal in econometrics from Madras University. Later, she got her graduation from Wharton School of Business as a member of Dean's Honor List and Alpha Beta Gamma Society at University of Pennsylvania, United States of America. She got 125th rank in the successful alumni of the list of the university. Madam Srinivasan is a thought leader and strategist recognized for entrepreneurship, commitment to the excellence, contribution to Indian agriculture machinery, business, and academia. She is presently the chairman and managing director of TAFE. Now, TAFE is the third largest tractor manufacturer of the world and the second largest in India by volumes, with an annual sale of over 180,000 tractors and presence in more than 100 countries, including developed countries in Europe and America. TAFE is also a significant stakeholder in AGCO Corporation USA, that is Alice Gleaner Corporation, which is a famous with a turnover of 9.1 billion tractor and agricultural equipment manufacturer. She is on boards of AGCO Corporation USA, Tata Steel Limited. She is additionally chairperson of the Public Enter Selection Board, Department of Personnel and Training under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pension, Government of India. She is also on Global Board of US-India Business Council, a core member of BRICS Women's Business Alliance, and member of the Executive Board of the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, member of the Governing Board of the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and member of the Governing Board of Stella Maris College, Chennai. In a span of 25 years, Mallika has established TAFE as a quality mass manufacturer of tractors, a lean and resilient organization that can effectively weather cyclicality of the tractors business with our special emphasis on product, process development. She has ensured significant expansion of TAFE's product range. She has enhanced the leveraged engineering strengths at TAFE to design, develop, and manufacture a range of products for international markets, while simultaneously strengthening TAFE's partnership with the AGCO for mutual growth in the both components and complete tractors business. She spearheaded the acquisition of Eicher tractors, engines, transmission business through wholly owned subsidiary TMTL, that is, and also nurtured the growth in terms of operation and profits. Under our leadership, TAFE has not only been consistently profit-generating company, but also one of the most profitable tractor manufacturers in the world. She has led variety of industry bodies such as Tractor Manufacturers Association India, the Madras Chamber of Commerce Industries, and has held various positions in the industry bodies such as the Confederation of Indian Industries, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Associate Chambers of Industry of India, to name a few. Mallika is well-known philanthropist with an abiding interest in ensuring the development of agriculture, education, and healthcare in India. She has been instrumental in supporting organizations such as Sankara Netralaya and the Cancer Hospital in Chennai, besides supporting the number of educational healthcare facilities in the Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. In addition, she has been generous patron of arts through her involvement in the promotion and support of the India's leading musical traditions of Carnatic music through the Indira Srivasalam Foundation. The accolades of awards Mallika has received in recent years are testimony to her professionalism. In October 2020, she was presented with the Businesswoman the Year Award of ET Prime Women Leadership. In 2019, she was featured in Fortune India list of most powerful women in business, and she was conferred Outstanding Women Entrepreneur Award at the Economic Times Family Business Awards. In 2017, she was awarded the Honorary Doctor Science Honoris Causa by the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in recognition of her contribution to the global agriculture, missionary, business, and academia, and conferred Doctor of Letters honorary causa by the Hindustan University of Technology and Science in October 2012. In December 2016, she was conferred the Devi Award by the Sundays Standard for putting farmers first and featured among the BBC 100 Women 2016, a list of inspirational and influential women across the world compiled by the British Broadcasting Corporation in November 2016. The Government of India has also conferred her with the prestigious Padma Shri Award for her contribution to the trade and industry in June 2014. So, with this brief introduction, on behalf of Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, and on my personal behalf, I once again convey my sincere thanks to Madam Mallika Srinivasan for accepting our invitation and gracing the 7th foundation of Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agriculture University. Thank you, Madam.
Madam, we request you to please start your commemorative address.
Thank you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Praveen Rao, respected Registrar, Dr. Sudhir Kumar, members of the board of the university, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and thank you very much for this, your kind invitation to be presenting this address today, and for those most generous words of introduction. On this occasion, I'd like to express my warm greetings to Dr. Praveen Rao, the iconic and visionary leader of this reputed institution, and the entire management and faculty of the institute on the outstanding progress made towards the university's twin objectives of generating cutting-edge technologies and developing high-quality human resource that will propel our country into the new agricultural era that lies immediately ahead of us. The resilience of Indian agriculture during the COVID era brought into sharp focus the continued backbone role that agriculture plays in our economy. Looking ahead, the demand for food grains is estimated to increase to 345 million tons in 2030. And to meet this, while continuing the focus on self-sufficiency, implies an annual increase of 5.5 million tons. Further, while India has a significant presence internationally in terms of the production of key cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables, and animal products, it is time to scale new heights with a focus on value-added products. Rapid developments in technology are sweeping across every sector and have potential applicability in agriculture as well towards the resolution of key agricultural challenges. Science, technology, and innovation will play the pivotal role in agricultural transformations to breakthroughs that are required to meet these demands and opportunities. Breakthrough technological interventions are imminent, and indeed you can begin to see them happening on the ground in terms of input optimization, mechanization, food grading and storage, logistics, processing, traceability, and access to markets. The decade ahead promises to be an exciting one for agriculture that is clearly set to reform. From a national perspective, the transformation through a technological revolution is vital to the achievement of our national vision and the Telangana government's vision for agriculture in the state. With its far-sighted, forward-thinking approach, the government of Telangana has chosen this prestigious university to play a key role through research, application, and propagation of cutting-edge technologies and the development of talent that will lead this transformation. Each one of you students present here today is truly privileged to be a member of this institution. You are the change leaders, the torchbearers of the domains you choose to work in. Entrepreneurial and innovative young minds will lead the transformation in agriculture, and all of us in the industry look forward to the alumni of this institution playing a lead role. So Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agricultural University, has been the forerunner not only in developing innovative solutions, but also in ensuring its reach and scalability so that its impact is visible and measurable on the ground. Excellent work has been done and partnerships established with agencies like ICAR in developing products that address key customer needs. The development of the four-wheel drive tractor-mounted paddy transplanter, the tractor-mounted trencher, and the star weeder are only a few examples. Crop protocols for use of drone technologies enable a strong partnership with startup businesses to benefit farmer economics. The farm demonstration of maize mechanization in collaboration with the State Department of Agriculture has helped promote large-scale mechanization of maize crop in the state. Recognizing the role women play in agriculture, and this is an area that's particularly close to my heart, the university has offered innovative solutions from finger guards and head load managers to power weeders and robotic applications. The inauguration of the Agri Innovation Hub a few days ago is yet another initiative that is at par with the best practice at leading agricultural universities worldwide. The PJTACU is unique, for it understands farmers' needs as well as industry's support requirements from academia, and its solutions have brought together multiple disciplines of science, agronomy, mechanical engineering, and electronics to offer solutions. This is a state-of-the-art approach indeed, recognizing that today technology has made fuzzy the boundaries of individual scientific disciplines, and indeed it has eliminated the set boundaries of individual industries as well. As the winds of technological disruption in agriculture sweep across the world, the models for India, a land of small farms, farmers who are particularly sensitive to vicissitudes and fortunes, would be distinctly different. So I'd like to today address the broad trends of disruptive change in farm mechanization that we're witnessing in the international market and the distinctly different solutions that are emerging in the Indian market. At a global level, climate change and sustainability are today the key drivers of an industry's strategy. Government and social interest groups bring together legislation and public pressure to bear on industry, and technology provides the response. Three major dimensions dominate the farm machinery sector worldwide, namely electric, precision farming, and automated vehicles. While electric vehicles are yet to deliver on the cost-benefit ratio, as prices come down and regulation changes, farm equipment manufacturers are gearing up to bring this technology to the market at an appropriate time, although perhaps not as rapidly as you would witness in the automotive space. However, with reference to precision agriculture, variable rate technology, drones, decision support systems based on AI and big data, and farm management systems, these are being rapidly adopted, particularly in North America and South America, to optimize input costs, vary the inputs on precise field-wise imagery, and for predictive interventions, lines and planters already with ag bots for identified niche applications, also presenting interesting options for farmers in developed economies. Electronics and software capability, as well as a deep knowledge of agriculture, are the skills that are replacing mechanical engineering as the primary areas for talent acquisition by all global farm machinery majors, and I think that has important applications or relevance to the students of the university. With building blocks for automation being progressively offered on new ranges of farm equipment, it can be expected that the agricultural sector will lead the way for fully automated machines over the next decade. These technologies offer exciting opportunities for us. That seeks to work closely with the along by the university for application across key crops. The question before us is, how do we adapt technology in the context of India to offer cost-effective solutions where over farmers are small and marginal farmers? Can newer mechanization delivery models be explored that will give these farms access to basic mechanization requirements, which they currently lack, as well as simultaneously offer access to newer, disruptive technologies that give a potential to turn around the economics of small farms. I do believe this is possible. And before I share an example that is close to my heart, let me set this in context. As you're all aware, India is the largest producer of farm tractors in the world, with an annual volume of approximately 9 lakh tractors last year and a total population of over 85 lakh tractors. The average use is around 700 hours annually against a capacity or a possible usage of 2,000 hours annually. These tractors, and I'm proud to say this, have been purpose-built for small farms with indigenous R&D from Indian manufacturers, and India is the largest exporter of tractors in the world for less than 100 horsepower tractors. And yet, only 44% of our farms use some kind of mechanized farm machinery. The emergence of custom hiring centers for farm tractors and implements has not been able to effectively meet the demand in the organization of small and marginal farms. So, to bring together the demand and the unutilized capacity available with individual farmers, we launched as a CSR initiative, a technology initiative in the name of J-Farm Services, a farmer-to-farmer custom hiring digital platform. The platform brings together farmers needing mechanization with farmers owning tractors and implements. And through a phygital approach, CAFE facilitates a farmer-to-farmer interaction as well as a price discovery, with all CAFE services being free to farmers. The unique feature of this platform is that it is brand agnostic, and the new service delivery model leverages technology. I'm happy to say that the platform has attracted 2.7 million farmers, serviced 2.1 million orders, and delivered over 4 million hours of mechanization services across 16 states, generating for farmers approximately 350 crores of income. This is but one small example. And our Eco India, encouraged by funding and backing from venture capitalists, is bubbling with startups. Set up by agri-entrepreneurs and software experts, these startups aim to problem solve across a range of areas in agri-production, food handling, quality control, and access to markets. Over $500 million of venture capital investment has been pumped into agriculture in our country. Over 57% of this funding has flowed into the supply chain or market linkage startups that aim to increase access to markets and provide them with better prices. Going forward, I do see increased growth capital being directed towards farm technology interventions. Opportunities for farm technology interventions include reduction in seed wastage, optimum use of fertilizers, minimizing pesticide use, limiting soil degradation, water conservation and preservation, optimum use of power, and the use of green power. We do look forward to the university students participating in the startup ecosystem as a great opportunity and a way to nation build and transform agriculture as well. As the developed world moves towards fully automated machines, India can benefit from a man-machine concept that will enable value-added technological upgrades that will assist the farmer in removing the drudgery and easing the strain rather than focusing on replacing the farmer. Swarm technology, which is finding favor with the Western world, could be an area to pursue as an ideal solution that would address both very small farmer needs as well as find application in large farms. Smart farming will play a critical role in helping farmers take corrective action in a timely manner. Post-COVID, quality, safety, and hygiene have moved center stage in the preference of customers, replacing price as a key factor behind the purchase decision. To realize these opportunities and convert them into commercially viable and well-rolled out ideas, the coming together of startups, corporates, universities, research centers, and innovators across disciplines of mechanical engineering, IT, electronics, robotics, sensors, and drone technology would ensure the development of the low-cost mechanization and precision agriculture interventions that will benefit small and marginal farmers by reducing input costs and enhancing yields and farm incomes in a sustainable way. COVID-19 has by far been the most challenging pandemic witnessed by each of us. And the power of collaboration to address problems was globally demonstrated while tackling this issue. Whether it be testing kits or PPE, tracing apps or ventilators, the journey from R&D to commercialization happened faster than ever seen before. COVID-led innovation has had many useful lessons for us in accelerating the pace of transformation in agriculture. Innovation is more than technology. Successful innovators bring together market understanding, insights into unarticulated needs, and points of resistance to change in order to develop successful models. Technology must go beyond apps, drones, or machinery, and innovation must address different social, organizational, or institutional processes that dictate the current situation in order to have appropriate and successful solutions. The PJTSAU is showing the way through its focus on research, collaboration, and extension activities, while simultaneously focusing on the development of human capital, the opportunities for personal growth, and the creation of path-breaking change is available to each one of the students here today with the competitive advantage of your university's pedigree. I would urge each one of you to seize this opportunity and timing to pursue your dreams. And as you contribute in nation building, I extend my warmest good wishes to all the faculty, students, and staff for success in all your endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam, for your well-articulated message, highlighting the significance of exciting opportunities, especially in farm mechanization, that can transform agriculture through innovation, technology, and the critical role of youth. You have elaborated upon all the important dimensions of low-cost mechanization and precision agriculture that can immensely benefit the small and marginal farmers and thereby improve the agriculture sector as a whole. Certainly, the students and faculty here at PJTSAU are inspired by your message, and we shall work hard towards transforming the face of agriculture. Thank you, ma'am.
We now move on to the next event, the DVD releases on virtual mode. 8 DVDs were developed by Electronic Wing under the able guidance and constant motivation by Honorable Vice Chancellor, monitoring by respected registrar, deans of all faculties, support of associate deans and their staff. These DVDs are virtual tours of 8 colleges of PJTS Agricultural University developed in connection with ICR accreditation activity of the university. The virtual tour DVDs are of College of Agriculture Rajendra Nagar, College of Community Science Hyderabad, Agricultural College Ashwaraupet, Agricultural College Jagitial, College of Agriculture Engineering Sangareddy, College of Food Science and Technology Rudrur, Agricultural College Palem, and Agricultural College Warangal.
We now move on to the next part of the program, which is eagerly awaited by the students, the Student Awards. To begin with, in the Faculty of Agriculture, Mr. Abhiram A.S., College of Jagatial, he bags 2 awards, Srimati Pulikanti Suvarna Memorial Gold Medal. He also gets Sri Manga Balamalaya Memorial Gold Medal. Congratulations, Abhiram. Ms. Andra Gayatri of College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar, again bags 2 medals, the Agri 1978 batch Rajendra Nagar Gold Medal and also the Agri 1992 batch Rajendra Nagar Gold Medal. Well done, Gayatri. Best wishes. Ms. Meredith Manasa of Agricultural College, Ashwaraupet, bags 3 awards, the Agricospeta 2007 Gold Medal. She also gets Sri Gokaraju Gangaraju Memorial Silver Medal and she also bags Sri Talluri Venkappa Naidu Silver Medal. Congratulations, Manasa. Ms. Visam Haripriya, again from College of Agriculture, Ashwaraupet, bags 2 awards, Sri Mudunuri Suri Raju Silver Medal and also Sri Alapati Venkata Subbaya Memorial Silver Medal. Congratulations, Haripriya. Ms. M. Usha, again from Ashwaraupet, bags Sri Bollu Sudhakar Memorial Gold Medal. Congratulations, Usha. From the Faculty of Community Science, Ms. Etipamula Niharika from College of Community Science bags 3 awards, the Home Science Alumni Gold Medal from the discipline of Resource Management and Consumer Sciences. She also gets the Home Science Alumni Gold Medal from Apparel and Textiles. She also gets the Ira Reddy Cash Prize. Best wishes, Niharika. Congratulations. Ms. Kartheti Bhargavi Devi, again from College of Community Science, bags 3 medals, Srimati B. Sarla Reddy Memorial Gold Medal, the Chirek Gold Medal, and also D. Ira Reddy Cash Prize. Congratulations, Bhargavi. Best wishes. The award in Diploma in Agriculture category goes to Ms. Rathod Deepa of Agricultural Polytechnic, Narayan Khed. She gets the Dr. Alapati Apparao Gold Medal. Congratulations, Deepa. We now move on to the next category of awards, PJTSAU Best Progressive Farmer Awards.
ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం వారి ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కార గ్రహీతలు శ్రీమతి ఎంబడి పద్మ, కోమటిచేను గ్రామం, కాశీపేట మండలం, మంచిర్యాల జిల్లాకు చెందిన పద్మ గారు సాగులో సూక్ష్మ సేద్యం ద్వారా మేలైన నీటి మరియు ఎరువుల యాజమాన్యం చేపట్టి అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధించినందుకు ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. The next award goes to Sri Maddukuri Siddaya garu. రైతునగర్ గ్రామం, బీర్కూర్ మండలం, కామారెడ్డి జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం వారి అధిక దిగుబడినిచ్చే మేలైన వంగడాల సాగు, సూక్ష్మ సేద్య పద్ధతి మరియు పంట అవశేషాలను సేంద్రియ ఎరువుగా మార్చి ఉపయోగిస్తున్నందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. The next Best Progressive Farmer Awards goes to Sri Katla Srinivas garu from Tirumalpur గ్రామం, రామడుగు మండలం, కరీంనగర్ జిల్లా. కట్ల శ్రీనివాస్ గారు సమీకృత వ్యవసాయంను అనుసరిస్తూ తనకున్న 5 ఎకరాలలో సుస్థిరమైన దిగుబడులు సాధిస్తున్నందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. తరువాతి అవార్డ్ శ్రీ గొర్ల వెంకట్రామరెడ్డి గారు, మర్లపాడు గ్రామం, వేంసూర్ మండలం, ఖమ్మం జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు దమ్ము చేయకుండా నేరుగా విత్తి వరి సాగు చేస్తూ సాగునీటి మరియు ఎరువుల సమర్థ వినియోగం చేస్తూ అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధించినందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. The next award goes to Sri S. Jaipal Reddy from Tarlapusapalli village, Kesamudram Mandal, Mehboobabaad district. జైపాల్ రెడ్డి గారు పంట వ్యర్థాలను విలువైన సేంద్రియ ఎరువుగా మార్చి సాగు ఖర్చును తగ్గించుకుంటూ అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధించినందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. We have the next progressive farmer P. Sabita Reddy from Chandur గ్రామం, చిల్పిచేడ్ మండల్, మెదక్ జిల్లా. వీరు వివిధ పంటలలో సమగ్ర సస్యరక్షణ చర్యలు పాటిస్తూ అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధించినందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అవార్డును అందుకుంటున్నారు. తరువాతి అవార్డు గ్రహీత శ్రీ బండ్ల యాదయ్య, రాపాక గ్రామం, ఆత్మకూరు మండలం, యాదాద్రి భువనగిరి జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు సమీకృత వ్యవసాయం చేపట్టి సుస్థిర సాగు పద్ధతులను అనుసరిస్తున్నందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అవార్డు అందుకుంటున్నారు. తరువాతి అవార్డు శ్రీ అనంత ప్రవీణ్ రెడ్డి గారికి, రఘుపతిపేట గ్రామం, కల్వకుర్తి మండలం, నాగర్ కర్నూలు జిల్లాకు చెందిన అనంత ప్రవీణ్ రెడ్డి గారు విలువైన సేంద్రియ ఎరువుల తయారీ మరియు వివిధ పంటల సాగులో ఆ ఎరువును ఉపయోగిస్తున్నందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. ఎన్నేపల్లి గ్రామం, వికారాబాద్ మండలం, వికారాబాద్ జిల్లాకు చెందిన సిహెచ్ నగేష్ గారు కంది సాగులో మేలైన యాజమాన్య పద్ధతులను అనుసరించి అధిక దిగుబడులను సాధించినందుకు ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. We have the next category of awards sponsored by CRI Pumps. మొదటిగా మేలైన నీటి యాజమాన్య పద్ధతుల విభాగంలో అవార్డు అందుకుంటున్నారు శ్రీ తిప్పారపు రాజు. ఎలుకుర్తి గ్రామం, గీసుకొండ మండలం, వరంగల్ జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు మేలైన నీటి యాజమాన్య పద్ధతులైన సూక్ష్మ సేద్యం, వరిలో తడి పొడి విధానం, అలాగే ఆరుతడి పద్ధతిలో వరి సాగు మరియు కూరగాయలలో మల్చింగ్ పద్ధతి అనుసరిస్తూ విలువైన సాగునీటిని ఆదా చేస్తూ వివిధ పంటలలో అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధిస్తున్నందుకు గాను సిఆర్ఐ పంప్ వారి ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు. తరువాతి అవార్డ్ శ్రీమతి జట్టూర్ జ్యోతి, మల్కాపూర్ గ్రామం, తాండూరు మండలం, వికారాబాద్ జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు కంది సాగులో అధిక దిగుబడినిచ్చే మేలైన వంగడాలను ఎంచుకొని మరియు మెరుగైన యాజమాన్య పద్ధతులను అనుసరిస్తూ అధిక దిగుబడులను సాధించి తోటి రైతులకు ఆదర్శంగా నిలిచినందుకు గాను సిఆర్ఐ పంప్ వారి ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అవార్డు. మెట్ట పంట సాగు విభాగంలో అవార్డు గ్రహీత శ్రీ బి యాదయ్య గారు, రేపాక గ్రామం, ఆత్మకూరు మండలం, భువనగిరి జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు మెట్ట పంట సాగులో మేలైన యాజమాన్య పద్ధతులను అనుసరిస్తూ అధిక దిగుబడులను సాధించినందుకు గాను సిఆర్ఐ పంప్ వారి ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అవార్డును అందుకుంటున్నారు. చివరిగా వ్యవసాయంలో యాంత్రీకరణ విభాగంలో శ్రీ ఎం కృష్ణారెడ్డి గారు, మాదారం గ్రామం, ఊర్కొండ మండలం, నాగర్ కర్నూలు జిల్లాకు చెందిన వీరు పంట సాగులో యాంత్రీకరణను అనుసరిస్తూ సాగు ఖర్చును గణనీయంగా తగ్గించుకొని అధిక దిగుబడి మరియు రాబడి సాధిస్తున్నందుకు గాను ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకుంటున్నారు.
We now have an award in the journalism category. The JS Agricultural Journalism Award 2021 goes to Sri Mangamuri Srinivas Garu, Chief Reporter, Inadu, Hyderabad, for his contribution to agriculture in Telangana through meaningful and impactful news stories for the benefit of students and farmers of the Telangana states. Congratulations, sir.
Now we move on to the next category of awards, incentive awards to the meritorious non-teaching employees of PJTS Agricultural University. The first category of award goes to Sri G. Venkata Krishna Rao Garu, Deputy Executive Engineer, Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. The next category of award goes to Srimati M. Leena, Administrative Officer, College of Food Science and Technology, Rudru. The next category of awards to agricultural officers goes to Sri K. Ashok, College Farm, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. The next award to superintendents goes to Sri K. Venkateswarlu, Agricultural College, Palem. Under the same category, the next award goes to Sri Mohammad Gaus Moinuddin from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. The next category of awards to senior assistants goes to Sri Mohammad Moinuddin Khan from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. Second award under the same category goes to Sri Mohammad Salim from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. The third award under the same category goes to Srimati Y. Vanita from Research Section, Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. Under the next category of awards in technical services, the award goes to Sri MSR Sharma, Pharmacist Grade 2, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next category of awards to agricultural extension officers. The first one goes to Sri P. Yadagiri, OFR Center, ECRIP on Integrated Farming System, Medak. The next award under the same category goes to Sri M. Ramarao from Agricultural College, Ashwaraupet. We have the next category of awards to drivers, and the first one goes to Sri Y. Bhikshapati, IAE and Technology, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. Under the same category, we have the next award to Sri S. Srinivas from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. The next category of awards to record assistants goes to Srimati V. Andalu, Record Assistant from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. Awards goes to Sri K. Yadaya, Mali from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. We also have Srimati P. Lakshmi, Office Subordinate from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar, receiving the award under same category. Lastly, we have the award going to Sri G. Subbarao, Office Subordinate from Agricultural College, Ashwaraupet.
We now move on to the awards in the teaching category. The first award, the ICR PGTSAU Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Best Teacher Award to the SC/ST teacher, goes to Dr. D. Bhadru, Senior Scientist Breeding, Maize Research Center, ARI, Rajendra Nagar. Dr. Bhadru has contributed immensely to crop improvement, culminating in 12 rice and 1 red gram and a safflower variety. He has given great efforts in paddy seed production and contributed to profits to the tune of 2.4 crores to the university in terms of revolving fund. He is presently involved in maize seed production and commercialization of maize hybrids. Congratulations, Dr. The award under PGTSAU Best Research Scientist category goes to 2 scientists. The first award to Dr. Sridhar Siddhi, Scientist Plant Breeding and Head, ARS Kunaram. He is involved in development of several rice varieties like Kunaram Sannalu, Kunaram Vari 1 and Kunaram Vari 2, and generated profits again through seed production in terms of more than 1 crore amount to the university. Congratulations, Dr. Siddhi. The next award in the same category, PGTSAU Best Research Scientist Award, goes to Dr. B. Srinivas, Scientist Plant Breeding, RARS Jagtial. He has also involved in development of rice varieties like Batukamma, Jagtial rice, Telangana Vari 3, Telangana Vari 4. He has involved in development of new male sterile lines at Jagtial Center and hybrids which are under testing at national level. He has contributed to seed production of the university worth more than 3 crores. Congratulations, Dr. Srinivas. The PGTSAU Best Extension Scientist Award goes to Dr. P. Sri Ranjita, Assistant Professor, Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. Her major contributions include popularization of different low-cost direct seeded rice establishment techniques, popularization of technologies like Sunhemp seed production in rice fallows, popularization of several new pulse varieties. She is also involved in seed production, organizing skill development programs for tribal farm women. Congratulations, Sri Ranjita. The next award in the same category, PGTSAU Best Extension Scientist Award, goes to Dr. I. Aruna Sri, Scientist, Entomology, All India Network Project on Vertebrate Pest Management, Rajendra Nagar. Her contributions through several activities involve, some of them are on-farm trials on crucial farmer problems like nutrient and pest and disease management in crops like cotton, maize, rice and groundnut, and alternate wetting and drying technologies, and performance of wilt-tolerant maize hybrid, mechanization in maize and rice, etc. Congratulations, Dr. Arunashri. The next award in the PGTSAU Best Research Paper with highest NAS rating goes to Dr. S. Vanishri, Professor, Institute of Biotechnology, Rajendra Nagar. She has published a paper on multiple genome-wide association mapping models identifying QTNs for BPH resistance in rice, in the journal Vaccines, which has a NAS rating of 10.76 and impact factor of 4.4. Congratulations, Dr. Vanishri. Dr. Vanishri also gets another award in the PGTSAU Best Teacher Research Extension Scientist with highest funded external project. She has generated funds for PGTSAU to the tune of 2.03 crores through her projects in RISE and PGNP, funded by DBT, DST, and ICR NASF. This is I'm sure this is inspiring for the young faculty. Congratulations, Dr. Vanishri. The PGTSAU Best Faculty Award in the teaching category goes to Dr. A. Madhavi, Principal Scientist, Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry, STCR Scheme, ARI Rajendra Nagar. She is a specialist in soil fertility, particularly in soil health balancing with appropriate fertilizer recommendations for augmenting crop yields. She has worked on phosphorus, how best the accumulated phosphorus in soils of Telangana could be utilized to reduce input costs. She has taken several technologies of soil test results to farmers' fields through innumerable FLDs. Congratulations, Dr. Madhavi. The last award, the Jana Reddy Venkat Reddy Prize for Outstanding Agricultural Research Work in Telangana State, goes to Dr. S. Malati, Principal Scientist Entomology, Program Coordinator, KVK Malayal. The highlights of the citation: Dr. S. Malati, who hails from Hyderabad, has commenced her journey from RARS Warangal in the year 2001. She has worked for more than 20 years on rice and pulses. She has outstanding contributions to her credit on rice insect pests. With focus on gall-midge biotypes, she has identified sources of resistance against gall-midge and plant hoppers in rice that have been used as donors in resistance breeding programs. To her credit, she has released 4 rice varieties: Warangal Rice 1, Warangal Rice 2, Telangana Vari 1, and Telangana Vari 2. She has effectively involved in ICT-based real-time pest dynamic studies pertaining to PGNP and as PI of NICRA project on pest dynamics in relation to climate change, and contributed to finding on changing feeding habits of insects. She has also involved in DBT and tribal subplant projects on rice. Dr. Malati has several publications and bulletins, etc. to her credit, and as a researcher and as a program coordinator of KVK Malayal presently, she is involved in various extension activities for transfer of technologies. She has several awards to her credit previously also, the most important one being the receipt of Best ACRIP Entomology Center Award in 2016 for RARS Warangal, and also the Best Project Award for Cluster Frontline Demonstrations in Pulses. In view of her exemplary accomplishments in research, development, and popularization of agrotechnologies, Dr. S. Malati is awarded the coveted Jana Reddy Venkat Reddy Prize for the year 2021. Congratulations, Dr. Malati. Before we close the awards session, we are also happy to announce that 4 of our faculty have been selected for cash prize incentive to teachers, scientists, extension scientists who publish research articles in more than 7 NAS-rated journals. The faculties are Dr. CHV Durgarani, Senior Professor and Director, IBT Rajendra Nagar; Dr. M.V. Nagesh Kumar, Principal Scientist and Head, Maize Research Center, ARI Rajendra Nagar; Dr. K. Aparna, Senior Scientist and Head, Quality Control Lab, Rajendra Nagar; Dr. K. Sadaya, Scientist, Plant Breeding, RARS Palam. Congratulations to all the faculty. We now move on to the next part of the program, and it's my privilege now to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. V. Praveen Rao Garu, to deliver the presidential address for today's program.
Good afternoon to all the distinguished participants today on this momentous occasion of 7th Foundation Day. It is synonymous with my journey as an administrator with this university. Since 2014, I feel very proud to be associated with this institution since its inception. It always gives tremendous strength when we have a open ground to mold it university since the beginning. That has been a blessing to me, and it was a really wonderful journey for me to be at the helm of affairs for the last 7 years. So at the outset, let me, with all happiness and also so what to call to welcome Mallika Srinivasan ji, Chairman and Managing Director TAFE, for accepting our invitation and be part of this program. In fact, we missed you, madam, last time during say convocation. Probably we will try to make it that during the next convocation also. At that time, Honorable Governor has accepted for the Ramesh Chandji. So that's how we missed, and you were also in the US. That two things has hindered your presence at the convocation. So let me thank you, madam, for giving a wonderful advice to our students who have been enriched with the opportunities. Probably I see several aspects have been covered during your presentation. I think none of them have been left. Smart farming has been covered, mechanization, similarly swarm technology, smartphone penetration, mobiles, then the challenges that are faced by the agriculture today, like say indiscriminate use of fertilizers, pesticides, soil degradation, climate change, and one of the most important services that is being done by TAFE in the form of J-Farm services. And I hope that I recall recently the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and the Honorable Minister for IT mentioning, emphasizing these J-Farm services in the state. Probably we hope that this concept will come to Telangana with the intervention of TAFE in the agricultural platform here in the state. Having said that, another important aspect which I feel very happy today is that among the awardees, I see 90% of them are women. The women empowerment is really seen here. So I see my officers sitting here, and as well as also in the awards. And another important, I congratulate them, and I also congratulate all the non-teaching staff for their service over the years, and all the awardees, they deserve that, and I also heartily congratulate them. And another important aspect I have seen among the awards is that the awards have been diverse. The awards were meant for developing varieties, improved varieties, and also commercialization of the technologies, revenue generation, seed production, and also green manuring is another aspect, promotion of green manuring, skill development, water security like alternate wetting and drying irrigation, then highest project fundings from the external sources, balanced fertilization we have, and publications in the high impact journals. So all these show that the faculty, the staff, the students are trying to cope up with the present day challenges and rise to the occasion and take the challenges into their stride. This is another important hallmark I have seen. And also I have seen among the farmers who have received the award are also diverse. So one is an organic farming, mechanization, say what we call high yields, natural resource management. So we also see that the farmers are trying to accept the technologies and try to, and on direct seeding as well, I have seen direct seeding of rice. So all of them. So my hearty congratulations to all the awardees, both non-teaching staff, students, faculty, and all of them. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all our former vice chancellors, university officers, farmers, faculty, industry representatives, agri-startup partners, all of them. I am happy to inform you, madam, that nearly 300 plus are watching this program. It is really it shows the interest on the topic which you have chosen to deliver the lecture today. So I am happy to share with you. And I don't want to take much time, but I want to highlight few things, madam, which also probably interest to the audience and as well as you. Two things stand out today. The other day when we were discussing about the agricultural scenario in the state, an interesting observation was made by the Secretary Finance. It was also very, I felt very happy. In 2014, when we started, this state has started its journey, the gross value of agriculture in the state was something around 15,000 crores. 15,000 crores. And you will be surprised, madam, today it is 1.1 lakh 02 crores. So in the last 7 years, there was a tremendous increase in the gross value of the agricultural product. This was mainly due to the increase in the irrigated area, increasing in the productivity, increase in the use of agri inputs. So mechanization was there. Say what you call combiners have harvesters and combiners have increased, tractors have improved. So there was a tremendous improvement in all the agricultural value chain components. This is one thing. Then another important thing which I am surprised to hear from the finance secretary was the contribution from the animal husbandry, which was about just 7,000 crores, has reached about 97,000 crores. So all two put together, animal husbandry, agriculture and allied sectors like fisheries, today, the gross value of agriculture and allied sectors has reached to a stage of nearly 2 lakh crores in the state. This is an important observation I want to make. Second observation I want to make was with regards to the security net that is given by the government over the years and the agriculture reforms that have been brought, particularly in the sector of power, in the sector of irrigation development, in terms of credit availability to the farmers, and as well as with regards to the input supply. However, we have challenges today that needs to be taken. One is, since there is a huge increase in the irrigated area from just 1.5 million hectares to something like today we are talking of 4 million hectares. Then number two is with regards to monocultures. So we hardly have 4 to 5 crops which occupy about 94% of the area. So optimal use of irrigation water, optimal use of fertilizers, and as well as crop diversification and mechanization. These four are important challenges that this state has today, wherein the aspects highlighted by our chief guest today, particularly smart farming, particularly smart mechanization, because climate change, and services through J-Farms, precision farming, all these hold promise for addressing these four challenges in the state. This is one thing I want to. Then another important thing which I want to highlight is the state is making an effort, what we call it as Raita Vedikas. We see, in spite of the fact that during the last 5 years, the state has recruited about, I think this is the only state in the country which has one agriculture officer for every 2,000 hectares. I don't think any other state today has this luxury. So we have one agriculture officer for 2,000 hectares managed by a tablet. And also, we in the last 4 to 5 years, we have constructed about nearly 2,600 what we call it as Raita Vedikas or farmers centers, wherein now through digital mode, we are equipping all these farmer centers. Now we are planning that dynamically we get connected with these farmers on daily basis to address the challenges faced by the farmers. This is another new thing that is coming up in the state. This is one thing I want to highlight to all the participants. Then the third one, which I want to highlight here, is that during the last year, with the efforts made by our Honorable Minister for IT and as well as Agriculture, during the last year, the Telangana was declared as the year of artificial intelligence. And for the last 12 months, we had an opportunity, this university particularly had an opportunity to work in close collaboration with IT department, with World Economic Forum, and as well as several startups. So we took a innovative approach to bring in, because everywhere we are hearing that a lot of money is flowing, and it is projected that by 2024 nearly 1 billion USD is being pumped into the agri startups in this country, and worldwide about nearly 4 billions have been already invested into these agri startups. And we are hearing several, and there are nearly about post POC agri startups of somewhere around 700 that are having solutions which can be taken to the farmers to address the challenges that we have today. But we haven't seen anywhere these solutions which we are talking about have been taken to the farmers and have been implemented in the farmers field, so that the farmers can see the value proposition of these agri-tech solutions, so that they can be upscaled to a larger scale. So we thought that we should move in an innovative model. Instead of testing them on our farm and for 2-3 years and then taking them to the farmers field. So what we thought is, we will call an agri cohort of about say what you call pitch, and then we invited about 120 agri startups, and we selected about 15 to 20 startups which are relevant to our state, and on different aspects like blockchain, like artificial intelligence, drone sprayings, robotics. And straight away, we have taken them to the farmers field, and we requested them to work with the farmers so that they can validate their technologies in the farmers field itself. And I'm very happy, very happy to share with our honorable chairman of TAFE and madam who has been into, and the TAFE also has been into this for a long time, and we are seeing wonderful results, tremendous results. I think and now I am a firm believer that these technologies have a place in the farmers fields, and they can be upscaled over a larger area. And as a result of that, today with the in a collaborative mode, IT Department of Telangana, World Economic Forum, PJTSAU, and Department of Agriculture of Telangana, four together are coming up with a project, what we call it as Sagu Bahu, which will be targeted for about 1 lakh farmers, and with a platform approach wherein we request the solution providers, we provide the data to them for their use cases and take it to the farmers field. So this is another aspect which I want to highlight too. And this is where the students, this is where the, say what you call public-private partnership, this is where the value proposition to the farmers, the national objective of enhancing doubling the farmers' income. So all these come into the picture. So I think this is another aspect which I want to highlight to the staff. And then the next one which I see is collaborative projects. We have seen that in the recent past, in the agri-food value chain, no single person can solve these challenges faced by the farmers. These are the days of partnerships. These are the days of collaborations. So we firmly believe that the public sector, the universities, and as well as the private sector has to come forward to join hands to address these problems. And one more important observation I want to make, what I have seen is, if we want to take these technologies, technological solutions to the farmers, what is the entry point we have observed, so that the farmers can immediately show positiveness to this. And we have seen that linking them to the output markets has been the most important and entry point for taking these solutions to the farmers. So that he start trusting these technologies, he start trusting these private sector, universities, and so on and so forth. So we are looking at several of these aspects. And another important aspect, what we are seeing during the COVID period, this university has done a tremendous job with agribusiness students and as well as the home science. We have mapped the food habits, consumption patterns in the state, both in the rural areas and as well as in the urban areas, prior to COVID, during the COVID period, and we found tremendous variation in the consumption patterns. So dietary patterns are rapidly changing, and agriculture has to be sensitive to these changes from the point of view of resources, water footprint, carbon footprint, and these are the issues which need to be considered. And unless these changes like dietary changes, like climate change, like soil degradation, water security issues, unless we combine them. And another important point is now a stage has come wherein agriculture, food and environment nexus has to be unraveled. So we were only talking of water, food and energy footprint, but now we have to talk of agriculture, food and environment nexus. So there is a need to these two extreme poles, health and as well as agriculture, to come to the center point wherein translationary research, transdisciplinary research, wherein food science, nutrition, environmental scientists, agriculture scientists, social sciences, and these technological advancements have to be brought onto one platform, and that is how we can look at this whatever we call it as sustainable food systems, addressing the environmental issues. So there is a need for translational research today, transdisciplinary approach today for addressing the agricultural problems. So these are some of the issues which I thought that I will share with the audience today. Madam has already, I don't want to take much time. So major issues I wanted to highlight, and I think I thank immensely once again Honorable Chairman and Managing Director of TAFE for accepting our invitation. And I will be failing if I don't appreciate the efforts made by T.R. Keshavan Garu and as well as Rajiva in the back for enabling this entire ecosystem that what we are sitting today, and all my staff who have been working on this aspect. Just 2 days back, we had a Mammoth inaugural function wherein several hundreds of people, students and farmers and as well as industry people have graced the occasion of inaugurating the AgriHub Innovation Center. I take this opportunity to request the Honorable Chairman, whenever you are in Hyderabad, Madam, kindly make it to the university to see the developments that are taking place here. And I also look forward for a very fruitful and productive collaboration between both PJTSAU and TAFE, how we can benefit each other, how we can benefit the farmers together. The wonderful work is being done by TAFE in precision farming, and also our strength with the farmers in Telangana. We have a good rapport and trust among the farmers. So I think it will be a win-win situation for both of us to take the solutions to the farmers. With the vibrant agriculture scenario that has been already developed in the state, I think we are in for good days in the future in Telangana with a pro-agriculture government, with pro-IT technological ministers in place. I think we see a good future for the farmer and as well as public-private partnership to come. Thank you one and all for patient hearing and excellent address by Madam Mallika Srinivasan Garu. On behalf of my students, my teaching and non-teaching staff, and all the agricultural fraternity, farming community, we wish TAFE a wonderful journey in the near future, and all the best in your future endeavors, Madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. If I can come in for just a second to say thank you very much for that warm invitation to come to the university. I'm really looking forward to coming. You've been doing really outstanding work. Let me just reiterate that once more to say you've been doing some outstanding work, really wonderful cutting edge work, as I said in my presentation and my speech. But I'm really looking forward to coming there in person, and we do look forward to strengthening the ties between TAFE and the university. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
In continuation with your acknowledgements, Madam, I also would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Praveen Rao sir. Sir, the legacy of your leadership and service has been invaluable to the entire institution from the time of transition and formation of our university 7 years back till date. Every thoughtful measure taken for the betterment of university under your guidance to address the challenges of agri-sector development through various innovative approaches will ensure impressive accomplishments that will extend far into the future in terms of adoptable various technologies, optimal resource utilization, collaborative projects that brings the best results in farmers' field for sustainable food systems. Now, I request our Dean of Agriculture, Dr. Seema to propose vote of thanks. A warm and cherished afternoon to one and all. Honorable Vice Chancellor and President of today's event, Dr. V. Praveen Rao Garu. Our most valued and distinguished Chief Guest, Srimati Mallika Srinivasan Garu, Chairman and Managing Director, TAFE. Members, Board of Management, PJTSAU. Registrar, Dr. S. Sudhir Kumar Garu, Deans, Directors, all the invited guests and the participants. At the outset, I would express my sincere gratitude to our beloved Chief Guest, Srimati Mallika Srinivasan Garu, for accepting our invitation to deliver the 7th Professor Jayashankar commemorative address. Your valuable inputs on how innovations and technology can lead to successful solutions to the farming challenges has enlightened our minds and shown us a new, brighter path. We are fortunate to be guided and supported by the most dynamic Vice Chancellor, Dr. V. Praveen Rao Garu. Sincere thanks to you, sir, for taking valuable steps towards the betterment of the university. I would also like to thank the Registrar, Dr. S. Sudhir Kumar Garu, for all his efforts in recognizing the talent and finalizing the awards, besides constant monitoring to ensure the success of this event. My sincere appreciation to the Director of Research, Dr. R. Jagdishwar Garu, for introducing the speaker to the participants. My sincere thanks to all the university officers for their valuable suggestions from time to time. I acknowledge all the support and cooperation extended by the DG, DDG, and ADG of the ICR New Delhi to this university. Words are not enough to express gratitude to all the supporting officers who have set a perfect platform for this event. To mention a few, the Agri Information and Communication Center, the Electronic Wing, the Office of the PRO, Office of the COE, Office of the Registrar, the press, media, etc. I sincerely thank the donors of the medals, cash prizes for their thoughtful sponsorships. My heartfelt thanks to all the former Vice Chancellors, former members of Board of Management, former Deans and Directors for their active presence in this event. My sincere thanks to the members, Board of Management, Directors of ICR and other institutions, the ADs, ADRs, beloved farmers, alumni, staff and students for their participation and for making this program a success. I thank our faculty, Dr. Aparna and Dr. Yamini, for successfully navigating this program. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the teaching, non-teaching staff and students and farmers for receiving the awards and honors. Lastly, I would like to say that the Foundation Day is not only the occasion to celebrate, but to reinstate our commitment to achieve the vision of the university. Thanks to one and all, and a special thanks to the TAFE team for coordinating this event. Thank you so much. Thank you, madam. Let us all now stand up for the national anthem.
Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all.